Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are talking about sinking funds, okay? So if you like short intros, if you like getting to the point, and if you like learning about finance, then make sure you like and subscribe. So we are talking about sinking funds. What are they? Why might you use them? What are the benefits, etc., etc. So essentially, you have a budget, okay? I have a video about budgeting as well, but you have a budget and you know what you're gonna pay every month. But sometimes there are things like car maintenance, there are vacations, there are gifts, there are weddings, there's Christmas that you know you're going to have to pay for. You know it's coming up, but it's not quite in your budget. So a sinking fund is essentially an account, okay, or some type of envelope where you save for things. So instead of just taking one large bucket of savings, so instead of just saying savings, and you're going to take money from it. Instead, what you're doing is you're making multiple small buckets for different things. So you might have a bucket for vacation. You might have one for gifts. You might have one for car maintenance. You might have one for home furnishing, okay? So how often is it that your car breaks? Not that often, but if you have a car, it's probably going to break at some point in time. So you know how you usually have a budget and then you're on track that month for your budget, and then all of a sudden what happens? Well, your car breaks. Your friend gets married or has a bachelorette or something. There's something where it's not quite super random, but it's also not quite something that you can put in your budget. So that's what sinking funds are for. So what you can do is, let's say if you have, at the end of every month, you have $600 to put into savings. Instead of putting it all into a general savings, you can put a little bit of money maybe into your emergency fund, okay? And then depending as to, number one, how much money you have, but depending as to how much you want to save for each of them, you can then allocate a little bit of money into all of your sinking funds. There's no limit to how many you can have. You can have multiples. You can make them more specific, less specific, etc. So even, let's say for your vacation fund, you can then have kind of sub funds where you can take maybe $100 into your vacation fund and maybe 50 of it is for when you go to Disney, and then maybe another 50 is for when you go on a cruise. Okay, so you can even kind of do subsections of funds. So these are some common ones that probably a lot of people would use or have, but maybe if you have something specific like you're saving for a surgery, or you're saving to upgrade your couch, which I guess could kind of be within home furnishing in this case. So you can customize it as much as you want. Now what you can do is you can do kind of cash stuffing, or you can do envelopes where you physically have the cash and the money. Or if you're a person who prefers things to be electronic, you can use different savings accounts. Now, you're going to have to shop around and see which one works best for you, but you can have ones that have no fees, which is probably what you would rather want. Some people want savings accounts that are at another bank so that they don't see it. So you can have it at multiple banks or even just a different bank, okay? And why is that? It's because you're less likely to spend it, okay? If you don't see it, you won't spend it. So some people would rather do that. Now, what you do want to make sure is you want to make sure that it stays liquid. And when we say liquid, we mean it's not invested in anything. So you might be getting a little bit of interest as return, okay? Interest rates are like nominal right now. Like you're not really making money off of it, but essentially you don't want it locked up. You don't want it to be in a GIC. Okay, that's not what you want. You don't want a GIC. You don't want it to be in stocks. You don't want it to be invested. You want it to stay liquid. Okay, so that's the main thing here. And why is that? Because when it's time for you to spend that money, okay, you have easy access to it. So it's essentially you're saving for things that will happen at some point in time in the future. So again, the important thing is once you take your money that you can save, you then split it up further. And you can do the cash stuffing, so the physical envelopes, or you can do different savings accounts. This can constantly be customized, this can constantly be changed. But what's important is that when these things happen, when these things happen, you're not stressed for money. You have it already. No one wants a $400 car maintenance. You don't want your car to break down. But if it does, you have the money for it. Okay, so you can deplete that money for whatever reason. You're going to deplete it in the case that, let's say, your car breaks down. And then month by month, you'll start putting a little bit more money back into it. Let's say your car's starting to get a little bit older. Maybe you want to increase this amount. So maybe you were putting in $30 a month, or let's say 40 a month. But now your car is starting to get a little bit rinkier dinkier. So maybe you will increase that amount and you'll go to $50 a month. Now, that means that you are adding $10 in more here. So where is that $10 coming from? So you're going to decrease it from something else. No one's really going on vacation right now, so you can grow that number. So maybe you want to decrease your vacation. So maybe you were doing $50 a month, and now maybe you'll decrease it down to $25. Okay, so you can play around with these numbers. You can also go on Amazon and you can buy really nice envelopes. So you can decorate them, you can customize them, put stickers. There are clear ones, there are ones that have already been designed as well. So you can find envelopes. A lot of people do have trouble with saving for the long term. So making it fun, making it easy will help you out, okay? So that's a quick level overview of what a sinking fund is, how it works, different ways that you can set it up. If you haven't seen already, I do also have videos on what is a budget, what is a mutual fund. I dabble in options a little bit as well. And what I think I'll be doing is I'll actually be doing a little bit of sinking funds. I'll show you how to set it up. I'll show you what mine looks like, and I'll show you the ways that I'll break it down as well. Thanks for watching. Feel free to stick around. Have a like, a comment, subscribe if you like, and I hope to see you in my next video as well. Bye.